It is known the story about the Alter Rebbe, who was a Baal Koireh every week in his shul, that during this week's Parshas Kisava, 1 year he was missing from his shul. His son, the Mittel Rebbe, hearing the klolis, fell on the floor fainting. They woke him up, asked him what happened. He says when he heard the klolis, he couldn't handle it, and he fainted. So they asked him, but this is being read every year. And his famous answer was that when the Alter Rebbe lanes, you don't hear the klolis. Chassidus in general, we know, always gives a perspective that sometimes changes the entire understanding of a pasuk. When you look at it, al pi pshat, there are klolis mentioned over here. And Chassidus, in a bunch of places, emphasizes and shows and brings to light a certain deeper meaning that shows how this is actually a content of brachos and not klolis. There is a sicha that the Rebbe gave in Shabbos Parshat Kislev Tovshin Lamedad, where the Rebbe stands on one of the klolis mentioned in this week's parsha, saying that he actually had not seen a deeper meaning and perspective to it. And the Rebbe goes on to explain first the klala according to Pshat, and then show its meaning. According to Pshat, the Rebbe points out, this is the last klala mentioned this week's parsha, that says, Ve'eshivcho Hashem mitzrayim bo'oniyos, ba'derech asher amarte lecho loisoisi foid liroisa, ve'ismakartem shom le'oivecho la'avodim ve'lishvoches ve'en koinim. Literally what it means is, the Eibishter will take you back to Mitzrayim on ship, on the way which he told you should never see again, and you will be sold over there to your enemies as slaves and maidservants, but no one will want to purchase you. No one will try to buy you as a servant. And Rashi over here comes, and Rashi elaborates on a few details. One of them, Rashi emphasizes that when you will be taken to Mitzrayim on a ship, it means as captives. It's not going to go, you're not going to be going there on your own will, but rather your captors are going to take you to Mitzrayim. And ve'ismakartem shom le'oivecha, Rashi explains that you will try to sell yourself as a servant or as a maidservant, and you will not be able to sell yourself because you're going to be decreed for kiloyim. And the Rebbe points out that the Rashi's explanation of here is contradictory. On one hand, Rashi tells you that you'll be going to Mitzrayim bashivya. Bashivya means you have no control over your own situation. Rather, it is all in the hands of your captors. Your capture has full control and full ability to do with you whatever it is that he wishes to do. Then, once you're in Mitzrayim, all of a sudden Rashi over here gives a perspective and explains that you will try to sell yourself as a slave or as a maidservant. And the question is, how is that so? If you are captive, if you're taken over by someone else and you have no control over yourself, how can you sell yourself? And what the Rebbe explains in Pshat of Rashi is the klala in the Pshat is that the person is going to be in such pain, in so much suffering, that they're going to go to their captors and they're going to ask them to be able to sell themselves, yet no one is going to be interested in buying them, and that is because of the decree of kilon they're going to have. So the suffering is going to be so much, yet no one is going to want to buy them, even with their begging to the captors to be freed or to at least sell themselves as slaves and maidservants. And the Rebbe comes and the Rebbe points out Yeino Shel Torah and the deeper perspective of this, what seems to be a klala, and the Rebbe points out to the bracha aspect of it. And that is, says the Rebbe, a Yid is not allowed to go to Mitzrayim. However, sometimes a Yid is taken to Mitzrayim bashivyo, against his will. And that symbolizes a concept in life that sometimes we're taken to certain circumstances against our will. Not in a way that we want to, we shouldn't be there, but against our will, bashivyo. As captives, we're taken over by something in our life. The point is that when we reach that point, when we are taken to such a situation in our life, we should be in a place where we should want to be in a state of an eved, a state of a Baal Tshuva, a person who tries everything that he can to connect, to reconnect, and to the Eibishter, and to elevate everything that is with him, and that is the mile of the Baalei Tshuva over the Tzaddikim. That when you're in a situation that seemingly cannot be elevated, which is why the Torah tells you should not be there, nevertheless, if you are there against your will, you have the opportunity to elevate it and bring it back to Kedusha. The Rebbe goes on to elaborate on a few more details in this pasuk that connect with this idea as well. It is known, the story that once in the Pegisha the Rebbe had with students, the Rebbe actually elaborated on this idea of digging deeper into a certain perspective. And the Rebbe actually gave an example. The Rebbe said that when Freud digged into a person, he found dirt. And when the Rebbe digged into a person, the Rebbe find treasures. The Rebbe Chassidus shows us that when we look into something in a deeper way, we put ourselves into it and we try to understand the deeper meaning of something, we can find the positivity, we can find the message that can take us through to the next level, can give us the message of how to reconnect, how to do tshuva properly, standing now in the days before Rosh Hashanah, and how to be able to come about to the Geula Amitis V'Ashlema through Avodas HaTshuva.